Welcome to DeNami TV. Today I'll be making a baby card similar to the one I did with the polka dotted daisy card. What I'm going to do here is I'm taking the white cardstock, folding it in half, and with the Versa Magic pads, both the aloe vera and the sea breeze pad, I'll be using this mini polka dotted stamp and stamping the background here. You want to create a nice little background. This is great for all-purpose cards. In this case, I'm going to make it into a baby card, but use the same one and create, you can do a wedding card as well. And then I'm going to also use the sea breeze pad to complement the green. And if you know it's a girl, you can also do pink. So what I'm doing next is I'm going to take a white cardstock, trim off about 1/2 inch worth to make us a panel. And I'll set this aside, and with my polka dotted border stamp, I'll be using the Versa Fine Vintage Sepia and stamping that to create a nice border here. And then with my pearlescent paper, I'll be using that. My polka dotted border stamp, I'll be inking it up with the Vintage Sepia Versa Fine pad, and I'll be stamping this to create a nice ribbon effect. And then what I do here is I'm taking a look to create a 1/8 of an inch border. I'm using my fingernail here to notch it, and then I can take it to the paper trimmer and just cut along there so I get a straight line. Now I want a 1/8 of an inch border with the blue ice pearlescent paper. And once again, I'm taking it to the paper trimmer, cutting it all the way down. Now I'll be assembling this border. So I take this one, and I actually happen to reuse this, so I have the polka dot on the back side, but that's okay. That's the beauty of rubber stamping. You can correct mistakes or just turn the card over and start all over again. So here I'm using the ATG 700. That's my favorite adhesive. It's great for all-purpose uses, including card making and scrapbooking. We have it available on the website. It is a commercial quality adhesive, so you get a lot more per roll than the kind that you buy in the traditional scrapbooking stores. And notice I just extended it beyond the card, so I don't do a lot of pre-measuring. I just trim it off. So I just cut it down to size. It makes it quick and easy. And then also it's exactly the size you want it to be. So I'm going to set this aside again. I'll take another cardstock, and with the same Vintage Sepia, I'm going to use the double ring. This is part of our nesting stamps collections. So I'm going to use that double ring, and then I have another word stamp, and this is where you can use this this collection for different purposes. So I've used baby, but you can do wedding, and you could use it, put a wedding image inside there. And then with a 2-inch punch, I'm just cutting this down so that I could center the circle. And then I'm just using the 2-inch punch here by Marvy. Has a nice little window here, so it allows me to center it like this. And then with my markers, I'm just going to color in this lamb with a light blue marker, and with a slightly darker blue, just going to add my little accents to this little lamb. I'll be using the lime for his little feet and around, and add a touch of color to the ring. That helps to pull in the green into the card itself. And then with foam tape, I'll go ahead and rip off a little piece, put it right behind there, and then mount it to the card. And then what I'll do next is I'll use this quickie glue pen, trace around here. Now I'll be adding the glitter to the quickie glue pen, and I'm using the Blue Ice glitter here. Just going to pour the excess right into the bottle. Now with my 3D lacquer, I'm going to remove this little pin that I put in here just to keep that passageway clear. I'll be squeezing this right onto the lamb to create a dimensional look. Keep in mind that 3D lacquer gives it the dimension, but the fluff gives it the texture. And I like the fact that this little point allows me to go into the very small details of the design itself. Just squeeze it right in there, and you can use the tip to spread it around. So depending on how fluffy you want this to be will determine how much you squeeze out onto your card. And then just like the glitter, I'm going to sprinkle on the fun fluff. Then I'm going to add a second layer just to his little ear to create an additional dimension. Now we've got a fluffy little lamb. So I'll take this 3D lacquer again. This time I'll apply it right on his little feet. And then with the glitter, I'm just going to sprinkle that right on the wet 3D lacquer. And then I'll take this 3D lacquer, put it right on his little face, and just leave it. So then it's a glossy effect. Now I'll be adding ribbon to the card. I'll take this sheer ribbon and just cut off enough to create a double knot. I cut it at an angle so that I'll have a nice edge to it. Like so. It just looks a lot more decorative. I'm just tying a double knot here. And then I'll take another piece, fold it so that there's two loops, as if it looks like a bow here. And I'll tie it right into the double knot. Like so. And then I'm just going to slide this right into position. And on those two tails, I'm just going to take a little button that we have available on the website. Just going to thread this through. This button actually happens to have 4 holes, so I'm just going to choose 2 opposite holes just so that it stays nice and even and balanced. Otherwise, it might look a little funny if it's just the 2 closest holes. Okay, just thread that through, and that's the other reason why you'd want to cut it at an angle. Then you have a nice little point. And our ribbon has a nice stiff edge, so it allows you to thread it a little bit easier. And there you have it. Cute little decorative card here. I'm just going to slide this back here. Got a beautiful card. And you can just adjust the tails. For variation, you can also tie it like a 1/4 inch ribbon and then thread the bow in there, or thread the button in there. Here you have it.